follow me.
I always do. It's Tuesday and time for the next edition of Litter Media Live. With the icon Mike Smith in studio, I'm Dan Ramey, and to our immediate left is the Wonder Boy, who is Mr. Invisible.
Camera's plugged in, but I gotta...
Did Mark Johnson break it?
Well, I went to switch to him during that interview, and
There was nothing?
There was nothing, so I kept it on the two-shot the whole time.
Uh-huh. So the Invisible Man is on camera for you today. Show that shot again. That was really cool. I thought it was really neat that there he is. Now, normally when you switch over, the background is the same as what we have here. Would that lead to something that...
That's true. I don't know what's going on there.
Okay. Well, you can investigate that while we continue with the open of the show. It's Tuesday, June 17th, final days of spring. It'll be summer before you know it.
Which is also, for us, the longest day of the year.
Mm-hmm. And that's Friday? Is that when
You know, I have not
summer
heard.
starts?
Sometimes it's the 21st, sometimes it's the 22nd. I'm not sure, but this year.
Oh, we'll take a look while you are doing the forecast for
Oh,
us today.
and did you get rain this morning, anybody? Woke me up at about 2:16. It was raining so hard that it woke me up. And that's even with a ceiling fan going in our bedroom. It didn't blow as far as the wind that bad. It just was absolutely pouring. And when I checked our rain gauge this morning, and I do dump it every day, 1 1/4 inch. That's how hard it rained. I think it went for probably an hour or so. It seemed
Mike
like.
and his daily dump.
Well, that dump, yeah. But a chance of showers again.
Of the rain gauge.
Of the rain gauge.
Yes.
A chance of showers again today through tomorrow. And then, by the way, some of the storms on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, could be severe. So keep an eye and an ear out on that tomorrow. But we are expecting sunshine to come out on Thursday and be with us through the weekend.
We're seeing that, according to the internet,
Which means it's got to be true.
yes, Friday at 10:41 p.m. AI says Friday at 10:42. So at some point in time, around 10:41 to 10:42, summer will make its arrival.
And Friday is the 20th?
The 20th,
Okay.
yes. Yes, as we
Okay.
jump into the weekend. And from what we understand, it's going to be hot. So summer's going to come in like a lion.
Right.
In that respect. All right, coming up in a moment, we'll get you caught up to date on what's making news for us across the Scioto Valley. Let's see. I had something in my mind, but it's completely gone now.
You might see that happening more and more between Dan and I in the future. It's called age. Yeah.
We both have, well, you're midway through your 60s.
65, yeah.
All right, and I'm getting there. So we're starting to feel some of that in some respects. All right. What I do know is we're going to tell you about our next advertiser, which happens to be Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389 is the number to call if you have need for a dumpster. Whether it be at your home or at your business, they can fit the need. 740-253-8389.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it. Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
When we have the microphones turned on. Sorry, I was making notation trying to communicate with someone. That's how it goes. Go to littermedia.com. You can communicate with us. You can to talk about our stories. You know, there's areas you can comment on the stories. Yeah. When we first launched this website, people were doing that, but then they kind of got away from it. So if you want to make a comment on our stories, feel free to do so. Let us know what you think when you read what we have placed on littermedia.com. You'll also find all of our social media information up in the upper right-hand corner. That includes Spotify. I don't think Ricky Skaggs is on Spotify, the interview that we had with him.
Well, why didn't you put it on there?
Because you're the one that does the Spotify stuff.
So
it's the
easiest thing in the world.
Let me learn you how to do it.
Yeah. I got too much to remember. At any rate, you can find all that available on littermedia.com.
And a story that you'll also see on littermedia.com that was just added a few moments ago. State Representative Mark Johnson was our special edition guest this morning, where he talked about introducing the bill known as Andy's Law in honor of Ross Correctional Officer Andrew Lansing, who was murdered by an inmate during the Christmas holiday. Now, the bill is aimed at improving staff safety and security conditions, not only for the staff, but inmates at the state prison system.
We have we're talking about the most violent prison in Ohio is right here in Chillicothe at RCI. And violence is a common way of life out here. It's not only violence upon our officers and staff, it's also violence amongst them, the inmates themselves. We've got a prison out here in 12 months, we had 1,800 overdoses of drugs. 1,800, we got about 2,100 prisoners and inmates. And to me, that's not acceptable.
And again, that full interview, if you didn't hear it live or see it live this morning, can be found on YouTube, linked to Facebook, but it's also within our website story at littermedia.com.
We've seen, like at the state fair, I think it is, they have celebrities come in and they show animals and give them an opportunity to work with the animals a little bit, and then they take them around the show arena. Well, up at the Pickaway County Fair, how would you like to be on the other side of that? I don't mean being led around like an animal. If you have interest in judging livestock, you can join in on the fun. Pickaway County Fair Livestock Judging Contest happening tomorrow at 5 p.m. inside Heritage Hall.
I think I put the wrong date on that, Dan. It would actually be Thursday, and that's my fault.
Oh, okay. So Mike Smith says Wednesday, but it's actually Thursday.
Yes.
So who can compete? Youth, ages 9 to 18. Darn, here I thought we were going to have an opportunity at our age. Entry fee is just $5 per participant, and check-in starts at 4 p.m. in Heritage Hall. So this is an opportunity for the 4-H kids, and just about any kid, to be able to be the judge.
You think Aaron could pass for 18?
He shaved his beard. I think if he
yeah.
shaves his mustache, he probably could
You could probably get
pass
by with
for
that.
probably 16, maybe.
If I was
thereabouts. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Clean up, boy. Join Chillicothe Trails for a trail building day at the Ohio Chillicothe Campus Woods, and that's coming up on, what is the date? 24th? That's this Saturday, yeah. Coming up there last month, 18 volunteers took up their tools to do some heavy benching on almost 500 feet of trail. They're excited to watch these trails develop with the support of community partners and committed volunteers.
There is a new exhibit at the Ross County Heritage Museum, and of course you are invited to stop in and check this out. It's Unheard Voices, a selective history of African American men and women of Chillicothe and Ross County. It's coming Coming up this Saturday, that'll be 2 until 4 p.m. at 45 West Main Street. There's the buildings. The Heritage Center is the one on the left. The one on the right is the McKell Library. This reception marks the debut of a powerful archival exhibit honoring the contributions and experiences of African-American individuals in our local community.
If you're traveling over in southeast Ohio, yesterday officially marked the beginning of the expansion project for US 33 in Athens and Meigs counties. A total of 25 miles of US 33 in Athens and Meigs will be converted from a 2-lane highway to a 4-lane divided highway. So that project's going to be going over the next couple of years, actually. So if you're traveling over that way, be prepared to see the orange barrels among the scenic route.
Mm-hmm. You'll notice they stick out. All that green that we have over there, the orange and white barrels will really stick out. If you're looking for some outdoor fun this weekend, there's plenty of bluegrass for you. Now, Bluegrass Gospel, you'll be able to check out this coming Saturday. That is going to be at Calvary Lutheran Church, 74 West Main Street in Chillicothe. You'll see, and I personally know these folks, New Again. They are fantastic. They're good people. You'll want to check them out. Also, Lynn Strail is over in that right picture there, along with his bunch that's going to be singing. And Paint and Main. I'm not familiar with Paint and Main, but this will all take place. It's a 3-hour moment of bluegrass on the grass at the green space there at Calvary Lutheran Church here in Chillicothe from 3:30 until 6:30. Of course, Ricky Skaggs will probably have some bluegrass gospel for you Sunday night out at Tecumseh, but he will certainly have some bluegrass. There's no question there.
This next event's a few months away, but you want to get it on your calendar now. Mark your calendars for the Fayette County Toast to Fall. This is September the 13th from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Fayette County Airport. The event features Ohio wineries, food trucks, live music, a beer garden, biplane rides, craft vendors, plus a dazzling drone show and fireworks to cap off the evening, coming up in September.
I wonder if they'll let you take a camera up there because, when the wind is going by, I imagine they're probably looking at wind speeds of 100 miles an hour, and you want to make sure you hang on to that. If it's a smartphone or whatever you've got, you don't want to have that falling out of the sky.
That's correct.
But it would be neat to be able to take pictures and that sort of thing off of it.
Staying in Fayette County for our road report today, US 35 and State Route 435 resurfacing. That's between the Fayette and Greene County line and I-71. They have various daily restrictions from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. through this September. Also, State Route 435 between I-71 and US 35 west of Jeffersonville will have various daily lane restrictions from 7 to 6, also through September for resurfacing.
All right, coming up in a moment to look at sports for you and this date in history, all just ahead. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. They are your trusted comfort advisor, have been for nearly 50 years now, and they are servicing most of southern Ohio. They've got 8 different office locations, and of course the main hub is right here in Chillicothe off of US Route 23 there on River Road. If you want to find out more, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it'll take you right to AccurateHVAC.com.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
You know, spring is only for a few more days. I think we established that early on with summer coming this Friday evening. So if you want to get a new mower, new trimmer, new tractor, you need to get to Hometown Motors Incorporated. Hurry, because the spring sales event might be ending this week. We don't know that for sure, but it may be. New riding tractors starting at $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99. New walk-behind starting at $399.99. The new chainsaws, $279.99. New blowers starting at $199.99. New trimmers starting at $229.99. Hurry in, best selection. They're going off the shelves. They're going out the doors. They're going off the floor. You'll find it at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. Your store for the outdoors.
It's a race to see if the merchandise can go before spring ends. Which is going to come first?
I'm leaning towards spring ending first. Yeah,
could be. Yeah.
However, somebody walks in and says, all right, I've got this pile of cash. Give me everything you have.
Can we extend spring for one more day?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Time for sports, and we start off with an honor for one of our good buddies, Jeff Arndt. Jeff has been, I tell you, a long-time football coach, 53 years of coaching. And I remember when he and Ron Henson were together, as you see them up on the screen there at Chillicothe, it was always, let's stick together for 50. Let's shoot for 50. Let's try and make it to 50. Then, okay, I'm done. I'm out of here. No. Come back for 51. I'm out of here. No, okay, back for 52. His last couple of years was spent with the Circleville Tigers, and now he's officially done walking away from everything. But he's into the Hall of Fame now, the Ohio High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. And Jeff went in with some pretty talented fellas as well. Larry Karras, ever heard of him? Mount Union, 21 undefeated seasons. What was his record? Something like 360-20.
That part I
is something like incredible. Ed Terwilliger, who coached the Olentangy Braves for a number of years. Brian White from Hilliard-Davidson, who won a state championship in 2006 and 2009 with the Wildcats. Lisbon head coaches, James, is it Silimus? I think is how you pronounce his name. And also Mike Pavlansky, both of them winning state championships at different schools, a D5 championship for Silimus at Lisbon and at Canfield for Mike Pavlansky. That was in 2022. But if you're talking Jeff Arndt, he was part of that 1999-2000 Amanda Clear Creek state championships back-to-back. Final four, a total of 5 times, and great guy. A lot more fun, fun to talk football with, but even more fun to talk about life with. And you can't fault him for this. He's a Cleveland Browns fan and a diehard Cleveland Browns fan. So hats off to you, Brother Jeff Arndt.
Did I dream this, or did I read that he is the first assistant coach to ever be inducted into the State Hall of Fame?
He is.
That's something.
And I'd forgotten that he was a head coach at one point in time. But his mark was as a defensive coordinator, and 33 seasons with Amanda Clear Creek, 10 seasons here at Chillicothe, and he was also at Akron-Hoban. He was at Reynoldsburg for a while, Circleville, as we mentioned to you as well. And one of his favorite memories he shared, and you can read about this in the story we have at littermedia.com, but it was a battle against Logan Elm in 1975. He was the head coach at that time at Amanda Clear Creek. He said we were 2-8 the season before. Logan Elm was running their mouth, basically, and we beat them. And he says, my kids were fired up.
I bet.
So, yeah. But I appreciate Jeff for getting back with us, and congratulations. Wish I could have been there. If you noticed in that photo, there's a lot of Chillicothe staffers around him there for that. And I can't. Is that Steve Evans to his left? to the left of Ron Hinton there?
I can't see it.
It's on the far side over there.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Jay Lucas is up behind him there. He's the head coach now at
I
Coal
see
Grove.
Lisa Chafin in there.
And Lisa's over there. And there's Mr.
My eyes gravitated to Lisa before anything else.
Tom McClaskey is right in front of her there. Tom was, we called him Cavalier Tom. He would always come in on the Ron Hinton show and sit, and sometimes he'd ask a question, sometimes just be there to support. So it's good to see all those folks paying tribute to Jeff Hart.
And you've got some information about the paints that we needed to get an answer for today.
All right, Chillicothe Paints, they open up a 2-game series over in Terre Haute tonight against the Rex. They had an 8-2 loss they suffered on Sunday, and it's an exhibition game. I did not know that. You're the one that brought this up to me.
But I didn't know it before that, yeah.
So I thought, I got to find out. So I called Brian Wickline just a moment ago, and he says, yeah, we carry 60 games on our schedule and 30 home games. So the league carries 56. So in order to make sure they maintain 60, they play some exhibition games. And so he said not only this past Sunday, but this coming Sunday will also be an exhibition game too. So it will not count against their records if they win or lose. And so it was an 8-2 loss. However, the guys that were playing were some of the guys that don't regularly get to play, kind of like a B team, so to speak. So that was giving them an opportunity to get some wood bat time in there. So congratulations to Chillicothe Paints, where they find themselves tied with Lafayette for second place in the Prospect League.
Reds and Guardians both off last night. Cincinnati back home to open up a series tonight against the Twins. The Guardians head out to the coast to take on the Giants. Of course, the Reds coming off that big series win over Detroit.
What were your words before the weekend, Mike?
They're going to get killed. Detroit had the best record in baseball.
Yeah. And what did I say?
Well, the first night was the night they got beat 11-5.
Yeah.
And then they won 11-1.
Yeah.
And then they were behind on Sunday. That's when I turned the TV off.
And
then
won
they came back
8-4.
Maybe I just need to keep the TV off.
I was in Waverly Sunday afternoon, and I was catching all this action on the radio, and I'm like, this is cool. I was listening to the Detroit Tigers broadcast, which was really interesting to hear them chat about how Eli De La Cruz is on fire. He's batting .378 in the month of June. He's got more home runs, I think, than anybody expected a kid at his point in time to be able to have.
But he also has 18 fielding errors.
He does have that. It's hit and miss in some of that respects with many All-Stars.
I think I tuned in on the 11-1 win when the Tigers had the field position player pitching, and he was lobbing in pitches at like 50-something miles per hour, and the guys were trying to kill the ball, and I think they popped up.
Those are fun to watch.
Yeah.
I like to see that. Andrew Abbott gets the start tonight for the Reds. He's 6-1, 187 ERA.
That's good.
And the pitcher for the Giants, who the Guardians are playing tonight, what's his name, Robbie Ray? Yeah, Robbie Ray. He's 8-1 going to this contest tonight.
Gotcha. So, and the NBA Finals, if you're following that, it was even 2-2 going into last night, but Oklahoma City at home beat the Pacers 120-109 for a 3-2 series lead. So Oklahoma City just one win away from winning the NBA championship.
All right, coming up, this date in history, very important as we're coming closer and closer to Independence Day.
Yes.
Details coming up.
Litter Quality Propane, where there's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Yesterday, we had a special event on Litter Media with the folks from McDonald's. They asked that you be a part of something great. They have a hiring event that is going on statewide, but specifically for the 7 locations here in Chillicothe, Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly. A hiring event coming up next Tuesday and Wednesday. There you see Janadetti and also Amanda Mustard. Amanda is the general manager of the McDonald's location on North Bridge Street in front of the Chillicothe Mall. And that's 9 a.m. until 5 a.m. So Amanda's one of the people you'll see when it comes time to chit-chat and visit about McDonald's.
And that's at the stores.
Yes.
Because the same time on Wednesday the 25th from noon to 3, that's when they're having the Ross County Employment Expo at Ohio University Chillicothe, especially for a lot of the folks at Pixel, an opportunity for them to get in there and you get their resumes. But it's not just exclusively for that, but Chamber wants to make sure those employees have an opportunity to get started.
And today being Tuesday, don't forget that for the foreseeable future, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from noon until 4 at the annex of the main library for the Ross County, Chillicothe Ross County Public Library, they also have workshops. That is a state-driven thing now, where the state legislators helped out.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. All right, this date in history.
1885, a big shipment comes to the United States, and they didn't have FedEx or Amazon or anything like that back in those days. But the dismantled Statue of Liberty, a gift of friendship from the people of France to the United States, arrives in New York Harbor, but here's how it arrived. After being shipped across the Atlantic in 350 individual pieces, packed in more than 300 cases, the copper and iron statue, which was reassembled and dedicated the following year. So Lady Liberty didn't look anything like that when she arrived in New York Harbor on this date in 1885. She literally had to be put together.
Thank you, France, for bringing us Lady Liberty.
Her longs look a little too
Her longs?
Her arms look a little too long there. Her arms are too long.
Yes, but it looks nothing like the Chrysler building.
Nothing.
No.
It's
A lot better than the Chrysler
It's
building.
much more recognizable than what I think there was maybe a Bugs Bunny cartoon where the Statue of Liberty's talking.
It's in Baseball Bugs at the very end.
What is she saying? I can't remember.
She's the referee.
Yeah.
I don't
but I
recall
can't
ever
remember
seeing
what
that
she
one.
was saying when they came to her.
She's talking real fast.
Yeah.
I have to look that up on YouTube.
Yeah. That's funny. Funny cartoon. Baseball Bugs. Yeah. I like when the baseball's going.
Oh, the screamer.
The screaming line drive. Yeah.
Why don't I remember the Statue of Liberty being in that one?
Yeah.
I remember it being in a lot of old football games.
Oh, the Statue of Liberty plays,
yes,
right. Yeah.
Precisely.
Gotcha.
So. All right, tomorrow is Wednesday. Do we have anything special going on Wednesday?
Not that I'm. Wait a minute. Wait. I think yes, there is. William Mahaffey will join us at 10 o'clock. He is with the Scioto Paint Valley Mental Health Center. It's Men's Mental Health Month, so William will be in at about 10 tomorrow to talk to us about that.
Men's Mental Health Month.
How many M's were in there?
3.
3 M's.
Just like Campbell's Soup.
3M. Isn't that another company?
All right, that's it for the program today. Of course, if you see some things going on in the community that you think that we should be throwing out there, let us know. And again, we deal with good news only, so we're not going to go out and...
Unless a plant closes down and throws 1,000 people out of work.
True.
Can't ignore that.
True, but we have seen some good things come out of that, so and hope for the future. And perhaps seeing our people actually working together to make something happen as opposed to letting somebody else do it. So Chillicothe, it survives and has for hundreds of years now. All right, that's it for the program today. We'll be back with you again tomorrow with another edition of Litter Media Live.